Welcome to the 3am podcast. His name's Sean.
His name is Tristan.
His name is Deejay.
And his name is Charlie.
Good job,
Hey.
everybody. Yay.
We did it.
It's the holiday season, and how are we feeling?
Do you want to talk to chat? Or do you want to just like go straight into us?
Oh, we can switch back and forth.
Yeah, we
I
can
saw
switch
some
back and
shit.
forth, dude.
A hell of people are saying it's raining like a mother in Central Valley over in California.
Dude,
Oh,
I
yeah,
wish.
I've
It's
seen that.
disgusting over here.
What's it like in Utah? I heard it's hella fucking
It's
cold.
gross. It's not that cold.
It's not that cold, but cold enough to make the inversion a thing.
Yeah, the inversion's really bad right now. But there's not going to be any snow for the next week, including Christmas. So.
Feeling very grinchy.
Damn.
That's the weather right now.
It legit was like yesterday, sunny enough to go to the beach.
Dang.
Nice.
Damn you.
What's the temperature in Florida there?
Let me look. Tomorrow has a high of 64, so pretty cold.
Dang.
So cold, dude.
That is pretty cold.
It will be 70 on Saturday,
It's still pretty cold.
Chilly, bro.
71 on Sunday.
Sweater weather.
Nice. Dude, Tristan, how have you been?
I've been good. You know, just working, hanging out, occasionally playing Lethal Company with you.
You carried that stream, bro.
That's because I didn't know what was going on. And so that game was way scarier to me, I think.
No, even like when I would die and I wasn't allowed to talk, you carried. You were hilarious. I was like caught up in just watching you play. So
Hey,
do that more often.
let's do it.
Yo, is GTA multiplayer?
Bro, I don't have my computer.
The
could
current
not.
one that's out right now,
No, 6. The one that's coming out.
I would assume so.
Yeah,
The
we
current
should,
one
we should
is-
hop on that.
Okay, we should buy me a PC. We should send Jordan a PC.
Yeah.
We should all just start gaming heavy.
I'll play other games.
Sean, you would like Lethal Company. Lethal Company is like so simple and straightforward and fun as I legit have laughed the hardest in the last year watching people play Lethal Company.
Is that the one you guys were texting me about earlier this week? And
Yeah,
you're like, don't look anything up.
I've only
Yeah, we're
played
like
it that
trying
one
to-
time, and it was amazing. That was so much fun.
Have you looked anything up, DJ?
No.
I legit tempted scrap an episode. Let's just play. That's how fun it is, dude.
Just tease
so
everyone with an
funny.
episode and then be
Yeah.
like, nah.
What do y'all think about the new Kanye song? The Everybody.
Oh, yeah.
It's aight.
Well, dude, it's a good plan.
Oh my gosh. You know what's funny is if Kanye would have waited a year to go on his anti-Semitism rant, like he would it would have been banger, dude.
Yeah.
That fool was impatient. And then he had the
Hear some shit. Dude, he's always ahead of the time, bro.
oh, that's crazy. I love too how he makes like an album and like he makes it like a destination wedding, but a destination album.
Oh, I love
You know
it.
how he was like in Paris for Yeezus, and then he was in Honolulu for My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. He was in
Jackson.
Wyoming for Yay. Yep, exactly.
He's the mother.
Where else
He's in
is
the
there?
sand level on Zelda.
Where is he?
In the sand level on Zelda.
What do you mean, like the Sahara or something?
Oh, yeah.
Have you
What
seen where
the?
he's at?
Where?
Yeah, he's like out in the middle of like some desert somewhere.
Oh, it's insane.
Where?
I don't know what it's called. It's
Oh.
some like
It's probably in like,
Kandahar, Baghdad, some shit.
Oh, so he's in the Middle East?
Yes, and it's insane. I
My boy is on the West Bank.
Ground Zero.
That's sick. That's sick. I love how we're all meat riding him so hard right now.
I'm a apologist or some
Yeah.
shit. You legit need to look up where he's at.
It's so funny because my brother last year and he's in high school, started getting into Kanye, mostly because all of the drama that started happening. And then he had a friend who was a fan long before that. So my brother like bagged on him, not knowing anything about Kanye except that he was like made some anti-Semitic comments and whatnot, whatever.
He was a Jewish
or
guy.
whatever.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say what race he is. He was Jewish. Anyway, since then, my brother's been a huge fan, and with
Since then.
Yeah, in the last year, he's listened to Kanye a ton over and over again. And then Vultures was supposed to drop last week? And he was just like all week, he was like, it's dropping this week. Like this is his first time experiencing an album dropping. And I'm like, dude, just chill. Like I would bet on nothing happening. And nothing happened. As per usual.
This link.
Send it in Discord.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Of where Kanye's at.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm pretty sure it's like in Jordan or something.
No, it's Saudi Arabia.
Oh, Saudi. He's right there on the line, bro.
I'll just search on here. Kanye West recording Vultures Desert.
Saudi Arabia.
Desert.
Desert.
It's like on Tatooine, bro.
He is,
Hell
bro.
yeah, dude. This looks like anthropology.
It's insane. Like you should look on like the pools and the stuff. It's wild. I'm like, this is crazy. It's fire, bro.
Where do we need to go for something like this?
For something like that?
For 3 a.m., you know?
That's a great question. Stateside?
Yeah, that's hot though. Let's go someplace not hot.
Well, like
I'm
what's
just hot
what's
all the
the
time.
most paranormal hotbed?
You got
Transylvania. That's where we need to go.
Transylvania.
Invoke Dracul himself.
I was thinking like New Orleans, dude.
If we had to stay stateside, New Orleans is high up there.
Savannah. I heard that's just around the corner from you
Savannah's
all.
high up there.
What if we record at what's it called? Like Freddy Fazbear's?
Yeah.
Did y'all watch that?
I did, yeah.
Dude,
I did
that
too.
was easily the worst horror movie I think I've ever
Bro.
seen. So bad, not even like a bad funny, like bad
Yeah.
good, like a Sharknado type of way. It was easily the one of the worst parts of 2023.
Bro,
for me.
I saw some pretty terrible horror movies in the month of October. Slaughterhouse, terrible.
Only include movies that like had like a legitimate release.
Straight to stream doesn't count.
Some shot on a Zune uncle movie or some shit. Is there any others that were worse, Sean, that you can think of that were like legit releases?
That actually, The Boogeyman wasn't great.
I thought The Boogeyman was ass, bro.
I didn't love it. I mean, I didn't love it because it could have been so much better.
Me, Sean, Tristan watched Korean horror that
The Wailing?
I ended up liking. After a few days thinking, it's not that I
Thinking
hate it, but
back
at
on
first
it?
I was like, I think I like this. And the more I sat with it, I was like, I like this movie.
I enjoyed the movie for what it was, and like that it was like kind of a mystery as well. But I also left that night just confused. I was going to go watch a movie last week, but didn't. I was going to go see The Boy and the Heron. Did you either see that yet?
I watched it, yeah.
Was it good?
I loved it a lot.
It's on my list.
It was great. Charles, did you do your duty to your country?
No.
Oh,
I
That's
heard it's really good though.
that's awkward.
I have heard it's really good.
Super awkward.
I had tickets to go see it, and then I was like, I'm going to go jump off a cliff instead. And
What?
so I went and did that because it was the same day.
Can you explain yourself?
Yeah. So I was just like feeling really depressed. And so down in Moab, Utah, there is a national park called Canyonlands, where the entire park is basically 2,000 foot drops off of mesas into canyons. And at one particular point in this, just outside the park, but still within the canyons, there's a area that has been rigged up with a giant swing. So you just jump right into the canyon, and there's a rope crossing the canyon at like 100, 200 yards out. You'll just swing out into the canyon.
Deej, can you pull up a picture? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't think you fully grasp this. Also, this is set up by a friend of the podcast.
Bro, I was hoping to see Dom down there, and it was the week after he went, and I was like, yeah, man.
But Dom from Montezuma, I think episode 50 or something,
Yeah.
he and his friends are responsible for rigging that up.
Bro, it was so dope though. I got there early, and I'm looking out into the canyon. I'm like, bro, this is far. And then when they're like, well, it's your turn, I was like, hell yeah, I'm just gonna jump out in here. It was so
did
fun.
they
Strapped up real quick.
Strapped up real quick. They'll
You do
hook you up to
one
a
of
harness.
the Sean hit the Geronimo. Eureka.
What does it feel like?
I mean, like, really dumb way to describe it, but it's falling. Like you just like you're weightless for a split second.
Is it comparable to like that's you coming up?
Yeah, I wanted to start with the coming up because my mom was going to see this video, and I wanted to know that I didn't die.
You're so thoughtful. Whoa, rock on.
This is it, dude.
Oh, no hesitation.
Oh man.
Full send, Lord.
Bro, it was so sick though. And then once you're down in the canyon, it's so quiet because there's nothing down there. And it's just, this is the side view. So I actually got my sister to go with me, and she didn't decide to take the jump until 10 minutes beforehand when they're like sold her on it. Like after I did my jump, I was like, you have to try it.
That's awesome.
So she jumped too?
She jumped too.
Nice.
Insane.
Congrats, Shawnee.
Bro, it was so fun. Highly recommend. I would definitely do it again.
That's wild, bro. Respect.
But that's why I haven't seen The Boy in the Hair, and getting back to my point.
Oh, and were you referring to, are you talking about Boy in the Hair? Oh, I thought you were talking about Godzilla -1.
I've heard that's really good too, actually.
Same
But-
thing.
No, the other Japanese classic.
Yeah, you haven't seen either yet? What?
I thought you were talking about Godzilla -1. That's funny. No, I haven't seen shit, bro.
Bro, you said that MJ and Baby were in Portland. You got time to kill.
I honestly have been catching up for sleep. So I've been going to bed at like, I get in bed probably 6:30 and then I fall asleep about 8.
That sounds like super nice though.
So you're desk scrolling for an hour and a half?
No, I finally like watched a TV show I wanted to watch. I finished After Party season 2.
Hey, yo, that one was a good one. The first was better, but it was
Yeah.
still good.
Yeah. So very fun. Very cool. Aaron said y'all should record out of a cabin in the Appalachian Mountains.
Let's do it.
Mountains. And that's a really good idea.
That is a really good idea.
I've had
Area
We're
of the world
such
is
talk,
full of
dude.
I've had a recurring dream over the last like 2 months now in the Appalachian Mountains, bro. It's weird.
What's happening?
Were you getting your cheeks spread?
I was spreading cheeks, bro.
Deliberate.
No, I had moved there. I was living in like Asheville, North Carolina or something.
So no cheek spread.
And there was many cheeks.
Oh, there are cheeks spread.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good dream. I just know it was in the Appalachian Mountains. Very happy ending, I'd say.
Oh
Nice.
my goodness.
No blue balls in the blue mountains.
Nope.
That was a good one.
I went to LA
Oh yeah,
and
dude.
guess who I saw?
Who?
Bobby Lee.
Whoa, what?
I saw him at the Comedy Store.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Nice. Comedy Store is fun.
Yeah. That was my second time at the Comedy Store. My first time there, I saw Dimitri Martin.
Oh, was that the time that I was with you?
Was that at the Comedy
I
Store?
think I saw the Comedy Store with
Oh, yeah,
Dimitri Martin.
Did you come with, it was like Will Higby,
Yeah.
Sarah,
Yeah.
Nolan.
Because I showed up after being in Mexico for like a couple days.
Crazy.
Just
Yeah.
random. Was like, yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah. So it was fun. Bobby Lee killed, dude. It's crazy. Like
That'd be funny.
every sentence he spoke, the whole audience belly laughing.
Did he show his dick?
No,
Damn.
unfortunately. Or maybe he did. I just couldn't see it. But yeah, he absolutely killed it. That was good.
I recently hung out with T-Pain, Rick Ross.
Okay, one up.
That's cool. You had one person. So I had 3. No. No, you said you saw someone.
T-Pain, Rick Ross.
And 2 Chainz.
Dude, it's funny because you were texting about 2 Chainz when you were like filming him. And later that day, I got a notification from my favorite news source, Reddit, saying that he went to the hospital while he was in Florida.
I know.
Like right after that, like during like Art Basel.
Crazy. I know. I saw that. It's sad. He's a super nice dude.
Yeah.
I'll give you the fast breakdown. I work for a company who throws events and they invited performers to come. I'm the head of the media team, so I got to film all of them backstage and stuff. T-Pain, super nice. 2 Chainz, super nice. Rick Ross,
Shout out to all the pair.
left a ton of weed and alcohol behind. It's kind of hilarious. Rick Ross just like disappeared for an hour and everyone's like, where the is he? They were freaking the out.
Like before his set.
Yeah. They're like, where is Rick? Stall. And when he's like, DJ was like, oh, he's smoking in the car. And they're like, get him in here. He's like, he's going on in 20 minutes.
He's in the Maybach.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like, I may be back. yeah. What was I going to say? I was thinking, do you remember 2 Chainz had that show on YouTube?
The world's most expensive as shit.
Most expensive as shit. That was a fun show. I feel like that was a golden era of YouTube where publications were just entering into the space and like they have money. They're already doing, you know, articles. They have channels elsewhere. And then like YouTube was like just getting out of like, because the very beginning of YouTube was early internet, right? And people just like posted the dumbest shit, but it was just like pure fun, right? And then companies started getting into it and making like cool content, and now it's just kind of like everywhere. Whereas like, I don't know, I feel like 8 years ago you could go to YouTube and like most people who would like spend time on YouTube would know like the main channels, like Vice. Remember Vice? Like at the beginning, was like coming out with all of that. Like, I don't know, that was a fun era on YouTube.
Okay. So 100%, like back in the day when you watch TV, there's like 10 channels. So everyone's kind of seeing the same shit.
Yes.
If you were on the internet in the early 2000s or 2010s, it's like, if you were an internet person or non-normie, you were most likely consuming similar content to like a lot of people at the same time. But now, it's so niche down. There's like, I mean, we have 30 people sitting in here watching us. What the hell?
Yeah. That music. I mean, I think it's safe to say all music or all media was the same, because like music was like that. Like everybody gathered around a single radio, you know, to listen to like the pop hits, you know, and then
Soggy
like
Bottom
you had
Boys.
to wait for it. Yeah, exactly. Soggy Bottom Boys. You had to wait for your song to play. And when like albums dropped, you had to like save money and walk to the store and buy a cassette or a record. And then like, you're not going to buy anything that's not popping if you don't have a lot of money. You know, you're going to buy the thing that's hype. So it's like, now it's so accessible and like, it doesn't even matter. I don't think like anybody could like achieve the success that like TV shows and like musician artists like reached in decades past, because like there's so many channels, runoffs going every which way. It's there's pros and cons. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's like, I don't think there will be like a Beatles or Michael Jackson,
whatever. Bad Booney is disagreeing with you.
So
I'm just kidding. No, I would agree. It's weird. I think there's positives and negatives. It's cool to be unified as like the human race in one thing.
Is there anybody who didn't watch like American Idol in the 2000s?
Like the initial American Idol?
Like the first season. Like you knew, like almost everybody you knew had seen American Idol. Now I can only name like boomers who watch American Idol. The Voice. True. The Masked Singer.
The Masked.
What other fun singing TV shows are there?
X Factor.
Yeah, X Factor. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah. So we're less unified actually at this point, because we're not all consuming American Idol.
Y'all remember when full circle when Katrina hit?
I think about it every day.
Yeah. And that's how much it affected me, you know, because I too think about it every day. And do you remember when Kanye was like, George Bush does not care about black people on live TV? Dude, I remember watching that live like in high school, like not even a re-recording. I don't even think they put it up on YouTube later too. Like, that wasn't a thing to repost, you know, like virality wasn't really a thing.
My favorite is Michael Myers' reaction to it.
Yeah, he just like looks over. He's like,
and then
what a pairing too. What a combining of universes.
Yin and yang, bro.
Yeah. Kanye's like, get out of my levy.
So funny. He's wild. He's been wild since day one.
always. Unhinged energy.
But funny. Dude, what else? What else is going on? We haven't talked or like recorded for so long. Like so much has happened. Tristan, any updates in life? How you doing?
Doing good. I'm working at a hospital in Salt Lake. I'm a vascular access nurse, so I just put IVs into kids all day.
Oh,
it's wild. You're the good and bad guy. The kids hate you. The parents love you. But I don't know. It's a good job though. I mean, it's rewarding, but also tough every day because you're working with sick kids. But
Oh yeah.
it kind of feels cool that they call you when they can't do anything. Like when you're the last line of defense to get an IV into a little kid, and someone calls you and you're like, all right, I get to go save the day. But
Do you do the stuff with the kids where you're like making like noises and whatnot to like make them laugh and like
He's like, shut up, sit down.
he's like stick it in me already.
This will hurt. Shut up.
No, I mean, I've seen the video of like that pediatrician doing all the dances, but like we're in a 2-person team. So one of us has to like hold the kid's arms stable because you have to get into a vein. So it's not like you just throw the needle in. You got to like thread it in. And when the kid's thrashing, you know, you only get one try.
You don't hit a TikTok dance before you stick them. Bitch, I said what I said. Right into the arm.
So yeah, I mean, driving to Salt Lake's not been great, but I actually started listening to you guys over again.
What is this, round 12?
Started back at the beginning because I was like, well, I mean, my shifts are like, I'll work day shift and then a day later I'll work swing shift and then a day later I'll work night shift. So I'm just like all over the place with my sleep schedule. And it's like a good 45-minute to an hour drive, depending on what day I'm working and the time of day I'm leaving the house. So yeah, I was like, I don't know what gets me like through this drive. I was like, just listening to the old eps and like thinking about like what was going on in the world when you guys were talking.
Dude, sometimes I think about that. Like we talked through COVID.
Yeah. Some pretty serious like historical events.
It's weird. It's kind of like time capsule.
Yeah, because I'll like look at the date that the episode was released and then like what you guys are talking about, and it's like it's crazy that going on 4 years.
Damn.
Wow. Can I ask a question?
Yeah, what's up?
Are you guys sitting on any stories right now that you're like either haven't fully fleshed out, or like what topics are you sitting on? Anything?
Topics,
I have a couple
stories. Actually, I think I have a list going. Let me see here.
Dom needs to come back on and share a story. I asked him and he said he's down, so he'll come on any night.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
He has a good one. What was that, Sean?
I said I guess I do have a list that are not fully like hashed out stories.
One of my old coworkers from like 4 or 5 months ago has a pretty crazy, intense like alien story encounter.
Whoa.
Firsthand, believes it to this day. Pretty in-depth, wild stuff. And I've been thinking about just like going and interviewing him separately and then like playing it for you guys and getting your reaction. So I think that's the only way to like do it. You know what I mean?
Honestly, that would be kind of sick.
I have a pretty crazy story sent to us from a listener from Brazil.
Oh,
An encounter in the Amazon.
Telling
but I
me
need a
about
couple
that.
more stuff around that.
Did we tell you what happened when we went to Moon's Rare Books
Oh yeah.
Refresh my memory.
months ago? This was like 3-4 months ago. So we brought Tristan and his wife and also Pack Attack in the chat.
What?
I haven't seen him
I haven't
yet.
heard any of this.
But we bought tickets and there were 6 of us. So we went and we saw Reed Moon, and it was dope. There was like 30 people in the room. And bro, people are
Oh dude.
people are boring, dude. So like this is a dude, and we did a whole episode about him if you haven't listened already, but like this is a dude who is a curator, historian, extremely passionate, can get into the niche of like so many things, you know. His whole shtick is you come into my shop, name me any person or event in history, and within 1 degree of separation, I have something from that.
Insane.
He'll bring out just from his vault. And he has like a warehouse of stuff too, like stored. So this store that he's at is just like a tiny fraction of like everything that he has. And he's always rotating things in and out. Every week he's traveling somewhere. When we saw him in October, was it?
He was last week I was in the UK, and we're like,
and for like the 4th time this year too, you know, like, and right before that I was in Panama or whatever. Anyway, so you're supposed to come to his showing. He calls it show and tell, and you throw topics at him. And it came to that point, and
all right, what topics do you guys got?
So like the first person who talks is like, do you have anything sports? And I'm so pissed at this person, dude. I think somebody else was like, do you have anything World War II?
You're like,
It's just like the most I don't know, vanilla request. I was mad. He roasted he roasted them too.
yeah.
He like rolled his eyes and it's like, yeah, I do stuff like this all the time or whatever. I don't know. It was just like, and then I said, I came prepared with, I said King Kamehameha,
That was a good one too.
which I thought was decently obscure enough, you know, famous Hawaiian king. And he told me, he was like, yeah, I have something for you. Meet me after the show.
Oh.
But it ended up being like,
He's like, hang 10.
yeah, he's like, yeah. He's like, ever seen one of these? Hits
No,
the
he
shaka.
probably hit you with the.
Yeah, the chronic shaka. He brings out a spam musubi. He's like, this is King. Yeah, this is King Kamehameha's. Crystal meth. Yeah. He shows footage of my auntie on a Dog the Bounty Hunter. What the? I mean, this isn't special to anybody who's not Mormon, or even if you are Mormon. I don't know. It was cool. He showed me like a Hawaiian like Book of Mormon that was meant for like Brigham Young or something. Like it had his name engraved on it, and like I can't remember.
It was
the story.
the Jesus book though, so.
It was the pigeon version of the Bible. Yeah.
You should be like, eh.
Yeah.
Okay. Was hoping for something better.
Yeah.
Something cool.
I'm gonna go watch my auntie on Dog the Bounty Hunter now.
I asked you guys if you're sitting on anything. So there's two stories that are forbidden for being told on stream. One of them, my coworker told me it was one of his best friends this happened, and he had to go to years and years of therapy. And then I finally got him to tell me the story. He was like, yeah, you can share it on the pod. And then he was like, actually, I'm really uncomfortable. Like, don't share it. So I told it. I think I'm going to tell it to patrons. I'm going to tell it to patrons.
He'll never know.
Yeah. And then Deejay, you're sitting on that one, remember, that you got from that Spanish lady?
Oh yeah, I need to follow up with that. Holy shit. That was a good one. I need to, I left out a critical part about the Reed Moons. I need to backtrack real quick. Sorry.
Okay.
It was after he showed me the Book of Mormon. I was like, hey, I actually, we talked months ago in a restaurant. I sat right next to you, and I run a local podcast where we tell scary stories. Even before I said that,
He was like,
he's like, yeah, I remember. I'll be on your podcast.
I remember you. We'll set something up.
Yeah, he's like, and he
to come out.
He gave me his number.
So when are we doing it?
Soon, after the holidays, January.
Let's do it.
I'll text him.
I have like 4 people who need to come on and stuff.
Yeah. Did I ever talk about that on pod? What? With like my aunt being on Dog the Bounty Hunter?
Yes, you have.
I have.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't remember. That's just such a like, I can't think of a more wild show for your family to see you on.
Oh,
you know?
100%. Is Dog the Bounty Hunter just Hawaiian cops?
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
Bad brothers.
Yeah. Bad brothers. Yeah. I'm trying to think of like what show would be life ending for like all of my family and friends to see me on.
To Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen.
Yeah. Oh shit. My 600-pound life.
Like, why don't you have a seat right there?
Yeah.
I wasn't going to do anything. I was going to come here and tell them it was a bad idea. What did you mean when you said, I want to suck your You know how he like reads out the chat? Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. So what did you mean by I want to put my hands in your pants?
It's like, technically, pedophiles are only into 14 to 15-year-olds. She was 16.
I recently watched Wubby watched like a highlight of all To Catch the Predators, bro, and there is some just wild stuff on there.
Really?
Yeah,
It's so crazy.
it is crazy.
Did you see the video of that? I might have sent it to the boys group chat where it's that one emo dude. He looks like he's late 30s, early 40s.
There's no emo girls.
He's like, there's no emo girls here. All they like is they're all basic bitches. It pisses me off. And in the comments, someone was like, didn't this dude go to jail for like being like a child predator to like a 16, 17-year-old? And then people were talking about it, like linking articles to it. And then somebody's like quoting from the article about how he said, he was like, how could I be a predator if they have like really big tits? I was like, damn, that's such a wild thing to say, bro.
Oh my God.
That guy was unreal. He was like a literal cartoon character. He looked like Beavis and Butthead's level.
Yeah. Straight
He
up.
looked not real.
What about being on having your family see you on Dr. Pimple Popper?
Oh, I would be so like.
I'd be stoked about it.
I mean,
feel
I would be stoked to be on there,
Charles,
but also
you made it.
Pac said, "Dude, you got to work hard to get your pimples ready for doctor. It's like you just got to like
have
put
to
lard all
work
over your
on
body.
it.
What about
On your forehead.
did y'all ever watch HGTV? Or your moms watch HGTV?
like the one where they go like house hunting when they breed salamanders and have a $500,000 budget,
What?
Yeah.
Huh?
bro.
I
Like
know
the
the
show
thing,
where
so-
they're like home
Oh,
makeover.
they choose like a house. Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, I babysit part time and I breed salamanders. Our budget's $500,000.
Older than that, y'all remember Trading Spaces?
Oh,
Brother, you remember trading spouses?
What in the world?
that was
a
mom
thing?
swap. Mom swap. That's what it
dude.
was.
That's what a truly terrible idea to get a stranger be like, will you decorate my sex dungeon, please?
Have you ever seen like when Trading Spaces goes wrong and they see it and they're just
Wasn't that all of them?
Every single one.
Like all of them were like, this is nice.
This is
Dude, one of them,
good.
she was like, turn the camera off.
Damn, that's so embarrassing because that's like, do they pay for that shit? I'm always like interested in how like shows are paid for. I assume like HGTV would front the money for that. Like no one's actively spending the money for such a high risk, low reward.
Yeah, they would be
you
like,
know?
applying to get on it, and they would HGTV would be the one paying for it.
Yeah. That's what I think.
yeah, that's the
Because
only
it's
thing
like
that
at
makes
best you're getting something
And at
know?
worst, you're getting a mom swap that's terrible.
Yeah.
Great TV, but
Also the era of TV shows where there was like somebody who could specialize in like communicating with things people can't communicate with, whether it was like dog whisperer or like
Pet
your
idiot.
crazy like autistic child. You know, like the English lady.
Wasn't that Nanny 911?
Yeah, Nanny 911. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That was crazy. Anyway.
You had Caesar Malone and Nanny 911.
Golden
Or,
era
like
of TV.
Long Island Medium and shit.
Oh, that's so good. And then
There's
the
so
next
much
channel
trash
is
TV.
what's
Holy
up?
smokes. I said there is so much trash TV. It's insane.
I mean, there's still trash TV today.
it's just like
But see,
entertaining trash TV.
like what we were saying earlier, back then everybody only had 50, 60 channels to watch.
yeah.
So it's like,
You know,
when
with
you
no
were sitting-
internet, it
you
was
go
just
from school,
cable.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody
everyone
watched the same thing.
Price is Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I saw what's the comedy show where they do improv? There's 4 of them with Drew
Impractical.
Barry.
Whose
line is it
Drew
anyways?
Carey?
Anyway,
Oh yeah, whose line is it anyway?
Drew
Whose
Carey
line is it
more.
anyway.
Drew Carey.
that's
Oh, Drew Barrymore. Drew Carey. Yeah, Drew Carey. Whose line is that anyway? Colin, the bald dude. The bald
Yes.
dude. He's like one of the regulars there.
Yeah.
I saw him in Park City a few weeks ago.
That's
Bro,
crazy.
that's almost more famous than seeing Bobby Lee, bro.
Yeah, this is better than Bobby Lee. No, it was such a wild concept. It was hiprov. So it was part hypnotism. I hate that I said that. Hypnotism and part improv. And he had a hypnotist and then he was the improv part. So they got like 20 strangers from the audience and then they go through the whole hypnotism thing for like 30 minutes. And then they have 4 volunteers and they were playing The Price is Right with Colin.
Or whose line is it anyway?
Yeah, or not Price is Right. Yeah. Whose line is it anyway? It was just like a wild concept. It hit like 25% of the time.
bro.
It really
that
was
sounds
a fever
wild.
dream.
I saw Colin in Park City do hypnotism.
Improv
Right.
with 4
It's like, what
strangers.
I gave myself the ick by saying that. Oh, I gave myself the mad ick a couple months ago.
You know what just gave me the ick is you saying the ick, bro.
Yeah. Let me add on top of that. I was watching. I was watching Black Mirror while like shaking my like chicken Caesar salad on the couch from Costco. And I was like, what the f- is this life, bro? I'm like shaking a salad, watching Black Mirror. I was like watching. I noticed the TV wasn't even on. It was literally just the reflection of myself.
That's a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah, that was a Black Mirror episode. For sure.
Oh, that's so funny. I've been since like my family's out of town. I bought. You know, you can get like a taco pack from Costco.
Oh yeah, like the street tacos.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
tacos. Bro, I just bought that on Sunday, and I've been eating that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Dude, classic boy
Money is
meal,
worth
dude.
it, dude.
You buy
It's
one
so-
thing from, dude. You remember going to when we were in college, Tostito,
Like
Tostino.
pizzas,
dude, 10 pizzas,
bro.
for $10.
Yeah.
Money.
Paper thin crust,
Okay, question. What is
doo-doo
the
ass
best
pepperoni,
poverty bang for your buck money?
five sprinkles of cheese.
Okay.
That was the best poverty meal I think in college. Was the 10 pizzas for $10. That or like the pouches of I don't know if it's Uncle Ben's, but like there was like rice, Spanish rice.
Oh yeah.
fried rice. I don't know. It was like
Bro,
60
ramen
cents.
might still be like the number one like poverty meal.
Dude.
No, dude, the $1.50 Costco dogs. I still hit those all the
Dude,
time.
with the drink.
I got that
the
dog
drink.
in me, bro.
Dog in me.
Yeah, hot. I always
I can
felt
show you
like
some
gourmet as hell
video. Oh, sorry.
when like you add anything to your ramen, an egg,
Even just an egg makes
Green onion.
hot dog. Yeah, like top it with some furikake or something.
Yeah, it's like, damn. What the?
Gourmet.
Yeah. Eddie's $1 million cook-off in here.
I'm going to show you a beautiful video that happened to me over the weekend. So this is me chilling, and God sent me a sign.
Was that Lucy? Ramen on the beach?
Damn.
It was gorgeous. I was like, damn, he really do talk to us.
He really do be out there.
felt his presence.
Yeah.
It's the Maru-chan. It wasn't that bitch ass.
That's true,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Bro, I believe.
It said, if you were God Emperor of the day, what are some wild rules you would immediately enact?
If I was God Emperor of the day,
Yeah, like whatever you said goes. If you like,
I feel like you have something.
over Maru-chan ramen, hell, straight to hell.
I feel like you have something already.
I just said it.
Whoa, what was it?
I said if you like,
Say it to me. I'm hello, dear God. I'm
Dear
praying to
Daddy
you.
God.
what do you want?
Dear Father.
What do you want?
I'm just really hungry right now.
Okay, you have two choices in my world. You can have top ramen or Maru-chan ramen. What do you want?
Well, I'd love to save the Maru-chan for the truly unfortunate. I've been a pretty good boy recently, so I'll take the top ramen.
On hell. Bye.
Straight to hell.
No, Maru-chan is king for sure. I knew that would upset a god if I spat that in his face.
God though, so you're good. There is a place. You know how I've had a really hard time with finding good spots to eat in Jackson,
In
St.
Jacksonville.
Augustine, or St.
Yeah.
Augustine near me. There is one spot that is so good, so delicious. So I went and had it like a week ago, and I got food poisoning from something that day, and I puked every bit of that meal up, and now I'm like, I can't ever eat there again.
Shoot.
The thought of it, I'm like, I associate it with puking, so it like ruined my 1 out of 3 spots I can go eat here.
No, I relate with the heavy. That was me in Portland with Pok Pok.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
sad. It was hard
Which
not
is
to take that
unfortunate.
personally.
Yeah. I think everybody hated me for that.
okay. Yeah, DJ. There's a place called Pok Pok in Portland. It's like Thai Vietnamese food. And
Renowned restaurant in Portland, and that has since they decided to close shop. But
Fish sauce wings that were so good. And DJ
so
ate them
good.
and
God
threw
tier.
up.
Well, I got
On the ride home.
Yeah, on the ride home, we literally ate at Pop Pop, then drove to Utah. And I remember like Kevin driving. I think you were in the car, Sean, maybe. Anyway,
On the way back,
I was
remember.
like, Kevin, pull over right now. I'm gonna throw up.
Oh no, I wasn't.
And just like he wasn't even finished pulling over, and I would like get out of the car, and like 18 wheelers just like whizzing like inches from my head. I don't care. I don't care. Like, just vomiting.
Do you guys have any like random rules you would enact, like things you would just change that you're upset with?
Bro, I would have to think about this.
Dude, if I could ever invent anything, it would be to not have to swab your throat to test if you had strep throat.
Oh,
Because I mean, I don't know if that's what you're going for with rules, but like that's
Doctor
like
answer.
that's like the worst thing.
Nurse
I
answer.
have childhood trauma from getting my throat swabbed. It's like to this day.
Your grandma's like, go get the spoon.
Yeah.
The Vicks Vapor Rub.
Yeah.
Don't act like I don't remember.
Get the tiger bomb.
Y'all's
the
grandmas
tiger bomb.
do that? Not the doctor?
What?
No, just if he was sick, his grandma would scratch his like forehead.
I thought you were talking about like the swabbing part. Like
No.
family members doing that.
No.
Are you sure it wasn't your uncle who swabbed your throat?
with like something else.
It was oh, shit. It was definitely at the pediatrician's office, but
Okay.
I remember they had to like pin me down because I had a sore throat, and they're like, "We're gonna shove this Q-tip
throat.
in your throat."
That's
and I was
hot
like,
though. Pin me down. They like put you on like the gynecology, like the I don't even know what they're called. The things that hold your legs.
straps.
It's like why am I putting my legs on this? It's like, all right, open your mouth.
We're gonna swab your throat with the Q-tip. I'm not sure why this is all necessary.
That's a good one. I don't know. There's ones like kill all mosquitoes.
I would say you have to try everything once.
Bro,
Everything.
Like the very first time you have to say
you
yes.
have to try it.
That's a good one. Or it's just like you can't be like, no, I hate that. Why? Or have you ever tried it? No. It's like, what the?
It's funny because I was talking with somebody who we're all not picky when it comes to food. We'll eat ass if we need to.
I mean,
And
probably.
I was talking to a friend who she is equally not a picky eater, and she was hanging out with a picky couple.
Oof.
And this couple told her,
Grow up, dude.
like they were at the farmer's market. She got something that was a little adventurous to a picky eater.
Had seasoning?
I don't know. Yeah. It's like onion focaccia bread or something.
Ooh.
And
Dang.
I'm starving.
she's eating. He's like, you want to try that? And she like gave this disgusting look. And she's like, you're not picky at all. And my friend's like, no, not really. And she's like, I don't know if I can trust you since you can eat. You'll eat whatever.
What?
What?
And I've never heard
That's
it that
the
way.
most backwards.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, that's so backwards. Like I feel like I can't trust you.
Can I be honest, CJ?
You're only eating, from the kids menu. What's up?
Delete their contact.
No, this wasn't me. This was a friend who was.
Oh, I'd be like,
Yeah.
I don't compute. Don't
I
understand.
don't understand either.
Try anything.
It's
at
like you're
least
eating the
once.
same thing as like a 6-year-old in Minnesota. Like I'm not.
Some chicken candies.
I'm not gonna believe anything you say about food.
I would outlaw, those big ass trucks that like when they barely touch the gas.
Oh, the rolling trucks, bro.
Rolling,
Just
rolling coal,
rolling coal, bro.
like the black smog.
So if you wanted that, you have to fillet your penis on TikTok Live and eat the inside of your wiener. So if you want that on your truck, that's what you got to do.
Dude, everyone in the city we live in is filleting their wiener,
Well,
eating
up,
the
brother.
insides. Yeah, getting that bone marrow. No, that happens all the time in Eagle Mountain, rolling coal, and it pisses me off because it's a modification. Like they pay money to make
so
their car do that.
That's the most asinine, absurd thing.
It is, and it's like so. I'm not even like
I gotta look
huge
that up.
green earth kind of thing. Like
You're
not
just
anti it, but it's like,
anti-rolling
dude,
coal.
like yeah. It sucks because it's like growing up in Hawaii, dude. We are the best, you know, and nature's sick over there. And I come here and it's just like, just absolute cheeks. And then people blow smoke into it. It's like, I'm in a wet.
Be like, do you see the inversion right now?
Yeah, this is a wet fart of a city.
I just looked it up. Google, what is the point of rolling coal? It's called rolling coal, and it is indeed a thing. Coal rollers are diesel pickup owners who trick out their vehicles in ways that allow them to belch smoke whenever the mood strikes. So there's like no reason. Yeah, literally it's just like
Just
when
my
the
hell.
mood, when the mood's right and they want to do their thing.
It's funny to me that Google used the phrase tricked out because that's not like formal language, but it's also not like, when's the last time you heard somebody say tricked out?
damn.
Like watching Pimp My Ride. You know what I'm talking about? It's like Google's kind of behind on like on the slang.
But in this case, I think it's fitting. That's upsetting.
Yeah. Speaking of Pimp My Ride, how badly did you want it? How badly did you want your ride to be pimped?
Dude.
Like I would have given my birthright as a 15-year-old to give the car that I didn't have to West Coast Customs for them to only put a casket, you know, like on the roof that had a waterfall in it.
Everyone knows the premise of Pimp My Ride. It's like they took your car, your shitty beater, and then they picked one aspect about you and made it your entire car. So what would they make all of our cars be? Like, what would DJ's car be? You would have like
You tell me.
flamingos. Yeah, they would probably just be like, "Oh, you're Hawaiian.
Here's some pineapples and coconut.
Throw a pineapple
Here's
on there.
grass." Yeah, a literal coconut.
It's just a Dole Whip ice cream truck. Or
Yeah. It would probably just be like a shaved ice truck.
yeah.
That's all. Sean,
The grill on the front of your car is an actual grill for pineapple.
Sean's would be outdoors.
Sean would be no car.
They would turn my Ford Focus into a monster
A Civil
truck or
War
something.
car. A Civil War car. Just like your Civil War home. It can also mow the lawn. But it's missing the doors.
Yes.
Any side that you sit on, that door's missing.
That's
Just
a rule.
Sean. Charles is what? I don't know. A
Just an airplane?
B-52 bomber. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a crater.
Shit.
All right, never forget.
What was it? What were the names of the bombs?
Big boy or
Big boy,
and little
man.
man or something.
Yeah, little people.
The name of the nukes.
Dude, that's a bit Bobby Lee used. He was like Bobby Lee was talking about how he's been acting a lot more in recent years, and he's like, but like the movies are all right. They're movies.
Fat
He's
Man
like,
and Little Boy or something like that. Sorry.
he's talking about like I'm like waiting for a bigger break in Hollywood. Like I need somebody big to book me, you know? Like he's like, I'll be an Oppenheimer, like Oppenheimer 2. He's like, I'll have one line when the bomb's dropping. And he's like, holy shit, the bomb. Dude, it's so funny. He killed it. He's like, Kevin Hart would play. He's like, Kevin Hart will play my shadow.
Comedy's fun. Live comedy is so fun.
It's so good. George Carlin has a quote about like comedies. I love comedy, especially like edgy comedy, because it shows me that I still have a line.
Ooh.
And then he also talks about like, and the best comedy is like when you can cross the line and then bring people with you.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, that's how they do comedy.
That's a sign of good comedy.
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
We've talked about that like off, like where do we draw the line on things we talk about, don't talk about? And there's so many
That's
times.
the answer. That's the answer. It's where we draw it.
But also there's like things I wish I could talk about, but I don't think I'm funny enough or like eloquent enough to like do that dance where like a true comedian could talk about the worst thing, but they like somehow get you to buy in. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No.
I mad respect that. Like I love that. It's like a superpower to me.
Dude, it is superpower. I wish I had that.
I love it.
Should we share our stories?
Do it.
All right.
Should we roll?
Yeah.
Are the die over there?
All right. Do you want me to just roll for everyone?
I'm down.
And then I'll let you roll your own because you're over here.
Oh, cool.
Okay. So we got DJ rolling first. 17. Charlie. 15. 11. 8. So it goes DJ, Charlie, me, Tristan.
Okay, cool. I'll share just a couple of tidbits from our trip to Vermont.
Okay.
So Sean and I and a couple people went on a trip to go see the leaves on the East Coast. We were those people. Along the way, Kevin was there.
Oh, yeah.
And when you travel with Kevin, it's very fun. I use him as a human drone. So I send him out and I'm like, go find interesting people because he will literally talk to everyone and anyone, right? What's crazy about Kevin too is I've been in like random gas stations in random states in random parts of the country, and he'll look over and be like, Eddie, how are you? And he like knows someone there, right? It is truly insane. You think I'm like joking or exaggerating? I am not. So we are in a tiny town in Vermont. I know someone who's here. They own a chocolate shop and they're willing to get their clothes, but they'll open their shop up and give you guys a private tour. Do you guys want to go? And of course the answer is absolutely. We want to go. So we met this guy, like I got the super nice guy, nicest guy in the world. I kind of got the vibe. He was like a trust fund kid or something who decided he was just going to travel the world and then like study the art of cacao. And so he like taught us all about cacao and how like the Central and South Americans like use cacao in all their rituals and like where he sources it, and he gets it sourced from Peru, from Brazil, from like all these countries in Central and South America. So sick. And it's like all pure, and he brings it up and he has all these products, and then he's like, what do you guys want? Like, I'll make anything you want. And so he just started making it.
He was on House Hunters.
What?
No, like with like the salamander catcher on House Hunters on HGG.
Trading spaces.
Yeah. Anyway. So hurry up and tell your story, Dave.
Anyway, I have this TikTok. No, but it was just beautiful. It was really cool. He talked about if you pour the cacao in the right way in the sun, you can see like a rainbow in it. And he said that was like part of the ritual.
That is not true, dude.
It is. You can
pour chocolate and you can see rainbow.
It's the oil.
Lucky Charms, magically delicious.
It's real hard. You can see a pot of gold. No, you just had to be there, Deejay. You wouldn't.
You're so dumb. Make this make sense.
It was sick, dude. I filmed it all. I have like a video I can post online, but it was really cool. It was just cool to like hear. And there's a dance you always have to do. So when you're talking to someone,
what?
You can't just.
All I hear is like, when you pour chocolate, you see a rainbow and you have to do a dance while you do it.
Is that
what I'm hearing?
Oompa loompa.
You're so dumb.
Wait. The dance I'm referring to is like, I think this guy could have stories.
Oh, yeah. That dance.
But I can't just come out and be like, bro, have you seen a demon? You know what I'm saying? Especially like
when you're first meeting someone.
Say that again.
When you're first meeting someone, you can't hit them with the hard question.
Freak shit right away. You got to like, there's a dance, there's foreplay. So especially with like, I've noticed talking to people who are a bit more woo, like they don't want to openly talk about dark things. Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I've talked to people who are a bit woo and they're like, oh, I don't bring any negativity like that in my life.
Yeah.
Like shut me down hard.
Brings out the sage immediately. Not here, not now.
So I foreplay. And I was like, oh, like crazy. So you lived in Central South America. Yeah. You were really embedded in the culture. Yeah. I was like, what are some like interesting things or folklore have you? And he started telling he didn't go real deep.
Dude, that's incredibly manipulative. I love it.
Yeah, I had to put the pieces right to make the final move. You know, who's that?
You're grooming. I get it.
100%. He unfortunately wasn't the most fruitful. He didn't have a lot of good stuff. It was I can't remember, Sean. He said there's like really high altitude lakes that are like full of dead bodies.
Yeah.
That wasn't good.
In the Peruvian Andes.
Yeah, and he's like, they will not enter those lakes.
Yeah.
Like they will not go in there.
Dude, that's good. I like that.
Stay away from
but
the
I
dead
think like
bodies.
foreigners go and they're like, oh, let's swim, and they swim. But like the locals and stuff are like, do not go in those lakes. Like you won't.
Oh, but he didn't go there.
I don't think
was
he
just
was
talking about it.
there. I don't think he got in the lake though, because they told him they're like, stay away from the lake.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, random. We're in a tiny town in Vermont, and we get a private chocolate tour of Peruvian and Brazilian, and it's like only with Kevin.
Super
right?
random. Yeah.
In that same town.
Wait, that was it with the homie?
Yeah.
He didn't give us any super dark tales.
Boring? No. Now we gaslight him.
100%. In this same town, this town was a trip, dude. When you came into this town, it looked like a movie set out of Deliverance.
Yeah.
There was a gas station and there was a house with a huge sign that looked like serial killer sign. And it was like, do not touch my chickens.
That's right.
And it's like, it was like, have you seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Yes.
It had that vibe. Yeah. So this town was weird.
I haven't, but I'm trying to piece it together.
Part artistic, part terrifying backwoods hick. And we just got a chocolate tour from South America. And then we go to a bookstore. And in this bookstore, there was a really old lady working. And she was very quirky and artsy and different. So again, I'm on my grind. I'm trying to find some shit. At one point, we're with Reed, and he was like, I really want to get my fortune told on this trip. And so I shot my shot with this old lady who was running this bookstore. And I was like, do you know any fortune tellers? And she goes, actually, I think I do. She pulls her phone out, dude, and starts texting people.
What in the world? The connects.
Complete side quest, dude.
Yeah, straight up diagonally.
You know, in video games, when like if you have to answer the right answers, and if you answer the right answer, you'll get the desired end state.
Yeah.
1,000%, I was in this. And she goes like, okay, what are you looking for? And I had to give her dialogue. So I saw like 3 choices in my head, and I gave her what I thought was the right one. And bro, she started texting multiple people, because little did we know, Vermont has a really long history of like seances, dark magic, and like fortune telling, like the Salem witch trials. Like they still have underground and hidden seances in Vermont to this day. And for a really long time, they were like, instead of having cookouts and barbecues, they would have like seances. The community would just get together and have a seance and then like summon.
Yeah. It's the Vavitch, right?
Yeah.
It's still going on there, but a lot more underground. So she was kind of telling us about it. And she's like, I've met these people. I've met a lot of people who are into that. And then I was like, do you know anyone who could like do fortune telling?
And then she was like, we don't refer to it as fortune telling.
Hold on. She goes, I do. So she starts texting all these people, and she's like, okay, I have some people. What are you wanting? And I was like, we're wanting like our fortunes to get told. We're looking for a fortune teller. And she's like, okay. And she's like, oh no. I'm like, what? And she's like, they seem to have taken offense to the term fortune telling. I don't think they're going to be able to like complete what you want today. And she was talking to me like, this is weird.
Damn. Is this a D&D campaign?
It's straight up
dude,
seemed
it
like
was.
it, bro.
It was. I was like, I rolled a 4. You know what I mean?
You needed a 15 or higher for that, bro.
There was someone, an artist in the area who was a diviner or a medium.
That's what it was, a medium.
But the fact that I referred to them as a fortune teller, they were super deeply offended, and they were like, no, that person. And they were like, so dude, we were like this close to like meeting a medium out in the middle of the
Let's be honest, it was a fortune teller.
Yeah. Apparently that's derogatory or some shit. And I'm like, oh.
It's funny how people like, it's just like everything's a circle jerk, you know? Like you as a Californian eating In-N-Out everywhere else but California. You're like, dude, the In-N-Out in California, just way better. Just like, shut up, dude. I didn't call you fortune teller.
So damn, I truly felt like I failed a side quest. I was like, yeah, dude, the fact that I just said the wrong word like ended that whole thing. But at that bookstore, I was like, okay, do you have any good books on like local folklore? I want to learn what y'all have to offer. And she was like, She was like, if you go right over there to that shelf, look on the top shelf. So I went and I looked for a book, and Sean and I tried our very best to find like the best one, the least hokey, shitty one. And so we ended up buying, oh man,
Can't see shit. Spooky New England.
Spooky.
Dope art.
and then it has stories. And so these are like accounts from journals and history and shit
Hell
like
yeah.
that. What's cool about all these stories is they have the title of the story and then they have the town that they happen in. And we were driving to Stowe, Vermont that night to stay at our Airbnb. So I was like, all right, flip through this bitch, found a story that took place in Stowe. And then I was like, looked up where it was. And it's like 10 minutes from our Airbnb.
Hell yeah.
So we
All
hashed
the
a plan.
boys hop in the car after dark, headed down there.
So this is the story of the place. I'm going to tell the abbreviated story because I told this story like 5 times on the trip. It's really long.
Yeah. Cliff notes.
So we decided we were going to go to a place called Emily's Bridge in Stowe, Vermont. It's a small covered bridge in the middle of the Vermont forest. Think like the witch, the Vivitch. Think like beautiful trees covering making a tunnel through like a mountain road in Vermont. Insane. And it's over like a beautiful creek covered bridge. 100 years ago in the town of Stowe, there was a prominent family and a less prominent family. Emily came from the prominent family. Her dad was well-to-do. Her mom was well-to-do in the business and the community. They had neighbors who the parents were out of the picture. So they kind of adopted the neighbors, and the neighbor girl was less attractive. I think she was a little chubby and not popular and did not have a way with the boys. And also this account is all written in like old English. So it was fun to read. Emily, all the boys in town were obsessed with Emily. So they were all trying to court her constantly. And she was just like, I'm not having any of this shit. She just played all the boys. She like fully knew they were into her and she didn't give a shit. She just played them all. That was until a boy from out of town showed up. And this one caught Emily's fancy hard. She was like, damn, I'm about this boy. And he was a little bit of a bad boy. So word on the street was homie got a girl pregnant in his old town and was like, I'm not dealing with that, and skipped town and came to Stowe. And then immediately found Emily, and those two were like inseparable. Neighbor girl who was less successful with the fellas, she heard about this and she like warned Emily. She's like, yo, I know you're in love with this dude, but like I'm pretty sure he has a baby mama in the other town.
Bro, snitch.
Yeah. Well, she was just looking out for her girl. She was like, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she didn't like the pretty girl.
No,
they're
they were really
homies. They're
close.
homies.
Oh, they were homies.
Yeah.
My bad. Okay.
No worries.
Okay.
And Emily's like, oh my gosh, that's not even real. No, he's just over here doing his thing. I'm in love with him. I'm infatuated. In fact, I think we're going to get married. I don't know. At one point, chubby neighbor girl is walking and she takes like a shortcut home and she sees boy and Emily, I think, boning. She's like, damn.
Nice.
And so anyway, Emily tells neighbor girl, I'm in love with, I'm going to call him Peter. I'm pretty sure his name is Peter.
Yeah, that sounds right.
She's like, I am in love with Peter. In fact, I'm going to get married. And I don't care what my dad says. He doesn't like Peter, but I can convince him true love is true and he'll see it if I just explain to him. And chubby girl's like, good luck with that. And then later that night, chubby girl passes by Emily's house and she can hear Emily's dad just going off like, no daughter of mine's going to marry some piece of shit out of towner who I don't know, who I don't respect. She's like, you don't get it, Dad. That night, in the middle of the night, Emily shows up at chubby girl's house and is like, my dad doesn't get it. No one gets it, but I love Peter. So Peter told me to meet him at the bridge and me and him are going to run away and get married. And chubby girl's like, are you sure, dude? Like, I don't know if you should do this. And she's like, you don't get it. You'll get it. I'm out of here. See ya. And she leaves. Next morning,
Queen.
chubby girl is milking the cows and shit, doing her chores. And her brother comes and Emily's dad comes and goes, have you seen Emily? She's like, no. She never came back last night. We have no idea where she's at. Panic sets in. They do a whole town. Everyone's looking. Chubby Girl's nervous because she's like, she really did run off with Peter. That's not good. And then she's like churning some butter or some shit. And her brother comes in and goes, we just found Emily.
Sorry.
Hanging from the rafters in the bridge down by town. She killed herself. And she had a note in her hand, and the note is from Peter, and it says something to the effect of like, yo, I can't do this. Good luck. I'm out, Peter. So in a fit of despair, heartbreak, Emily climbed up and hung herself on that bridge. That's the background of Emily. After that,
I couldn't imagine worse news while turning butter.
you're like,
Mid-turn,
what do I even do?
Your best
Do I
friend is
finish?
dead. Your super hot
This
friend
went from unsalted to salted butter.
That was fun.
Yeah, this is gonna be slow turn now.
It's turning out to be a bad day. Dude.
Yeah. Oh shit.
She was just like, yeah. But she just said, damn, and hits him with a pun. That'd be fun.
yeah. That boyfriend was a Betty Crocker.
I can't believe it's not tragic. Butter was just there. Anyway, after this happens, a ton of people traveling to the town, they all have to go through this specific bridge. And the first one is like a guy, he's on a horse and he's taking his horse and buggy through. And all of a sudden his horse freaks the out, rears up, takes off. And he hears this like really loud ripping sound and stuff, and he takes off, and he's like, it takes him a while to get control of his horse. When he stops the horse is gashed from like the front to the side of the horse, and then the whole side of his buggy is just like a claw through it. And then a ton of people, as they travel to town over the next couple decades, they like see a woman in white standing, hanging. They experience like they're like riding in their buggy and they're like get creeped out, and then they look over and like sitting right by them in a buggy is like this woman in white like staring at them. And then a lot of them have scratch marks on them. A ton of people just get attacked on this bridge, and they're like, damn, it's Emily. A part of the story is chubby friend hears about all this and is like distraught because she's like, man, that is not the Emily I knew. She was like nice and kind in real life. And she felt a lot of guilt because she's like, if I would have tried harder to stop her, convince her, maybe she wouldn't have killed herself. And like, so she goes there and she sits down and she tries to reach out to Emily. And while Emily was alive, Emily would constantly like brush her hair and do this thing with her hair. And so she's like crying and she's apologizing to Emily. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry this happened to you. I don't know why you're like in such an angered state. I'm sorry. And as she's doing that, her hair like gets brushed out of her face and she can feel it, and she feels a peace and calm. And after that, there's not a lot of encounters from Emily.
So naturally, we decided we gotta go.
So in the middle of the night, I'm going to spoil it right now. Nothing really happens.
Here's the thing. They went with me, so nothing's going to happen. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
We drove out there in the middle of the night. Super creepy. I played the Vivich's soundtrack.
That whole drive there was creepy, though. Like going through this dark forested road with.
And if you play the Vivich's soundtrack, it's literally like women chanting in Scandinavian and shit. It's creepy. Yeah, it was creepy. And then we get out and like Kevin goes out in the middle of the darkness and stands in the middle of the bridge and starts like trying to summon and
me.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he just full on was like,
Yeah, Kevin will do that all the
I'm
time.
not with this.
Straight up, he'd be like, Lucifer, Lucifer, take me. That's exactly how he'll do it.
Yeah.
All in all, it was I every time I travel from now on, I'm going to try to look up stories near me, and if I can get to those places, it's just way more fun. Like
It reminds me when we were in Hawaii trying to go to Morgan's
Corner.
yeah,
and we found that pillar of moonlight, dude. That shit was Ocarina of Time-esque.
insanity.
Yeah. In the river. And we just like, oh, beautiful.
We can never describe to listeners what that was like. It was insane.
No, it truly was, a fable.
It was like being an avatar.
The blue
Not the
people
last
avatar.
The blue people avatar.
Yeah, in that forest.
Crazy.
I'm thinking about night marchers now and like how you can like, it's crazy that night marchers have an escape plan, like a fire escape plan. It's like, you don't want to get by us, then
Piss.
you gotta get naked and piss yourself, and don't look at me while you do it. It's like, that's hilarious. I bet you they just do that to troll them, dude. Because if I was a ghost, I'd be like, I will you up, but
If you do this,
I won't. If you know, if
After 1,000 years, they're just bored. They're like, damn, what else can we do?
we gotta be more creative here.
if you 5 bros just like human centipede for like 8 minutes, just 8 minutes, you know, and they're just taking it for a world star. You know? They're an underworld star.
Getting naked and pissing yourself is pretty light work.
Is it compared to what?
In the grand scheme of things, I don't know. I'd rather that than like get skinned or like.
Oh, okay, I see.
Or,
No,
you know,
but it's like the first Saw movie where like they actually had an out. Like you could survive this. You just gotta jump into like a pit of like used needles. You know,
that one is.
Whereas like Saw 3, it's like these traps are impossible. Like no one's getting out. Nobody can get out. Exactly. I just try to think of like what I would have to do for kids. You know, I like the human centipede, not kids, but like. People.
What is that?
You think spirits like have like they like troll for fun? They have to. And do you think they have social media and they're posting it? And it's like this is Karen or whatever, some shit. Like,
did you just ask me if I think spirits have social media? I'm really tired, and man, this is kind of tripping me out.
This is
tripping me out, bro.
That's it.
Oh, huh?
With the ghost emoji. See, it started there.
Hilarious. There was a couple other more stories of places we were at, of seances and stuff, but I haven't read through the entire book. So if I read more and there's good ones, I can share more in the future.
Okay.
Thank you. That's me.
How often do you see paranormal videos on social media that aren't staged?
I would say not very often.
Not super often.
Yeah.
And then when you do see them, how often do they kind of get to you? Sean,
rarely.
Do you want me to not answer that?
Yeah, Sean, none. The rest of us rarely. Right? Would you say, Tristan?
Repeat what you were saying. How often?
Just like how often do you get scared from watching like a video when it's like a paranormal one?
Paranormal, like real paranormal.
Almost never.
Yeah, not often.
It's hard, and I'm trying to find them. It's like I get videos all the time. I don't know. Maybe this is just me. Maybe it was just because it was 12:30, you know, at night. But like, I don't know. This was a fun one that I saw, and it just felt dope because it was rare. But anyway, I'll play it.
All right. I usually don't record while I'm on the job.
So we're in a disgusting ass washroom.
But this is freaking me out. It's sort of unreal.
Looks like an
Here
employee
at work, I'm here in the janitor's closet.
in a janitor's closet,
Yeah,
looking
let me
around
just
all
show you
shifty
guys.
like. Ooh, he's in a school alone. No bueno. Looking down a long hallway.
All right.
Is there sound on your end?
Yeah.
I can't.
Oh,
hear
you
it.
can't hear it. My bad.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll be quiet.
Just to, I don't know, let you guys know this school was built on a cemetery.
So the picture there he's showing is what the school is built over,
But
which is a cemetery.
previous janitors that have worked here have tried to tell everyone that, you know, every night something happens, some spooky shit. I don't know, paranormal or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I didn't really believe him until tonight. I was in here cleaning up after some students had thrown a party, but what's been freaking me out is this one right here. No matter where I'm at in the classroom or what I decide to do, it just follows me. And
Real quick, Charles, he said he was cleaning after a party, and he said this one balloon has been scaring him because like everywhere he goes, it's been following him.
do your thing, you stupid balloon. I got you on camera now, so let's just see
Yo.
that right there. Shit.
He's kind of like not egging it on, but at least just for the video. But you can tell in his voice, he's like
He's scared. Yeah.
Just
a little bit more.
See, no. It just follows me no matter what. Ooh. No, I can't.
Did you catch that?
Yeah.
No, what
That last
Off
little
in the
bit.
background.
Watch like in the down the hallway. And this is the end of the video.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Whoa.
No, I can't.
Ugh,
So
awful sound. Yeah. So what you see, Charles, like, just imagine the dude saying it. Like, he doesn't say anything that doesn't happen in the video. What were you saying though, Sean?
I was going to wonder why the balloon was back in the room. Like
if it's been following
it's
him,
been following him
why
around?
does he have to walk around a corner to get to the balloon?
Yeah. That's me just being too logical.
No, I wonder that too. But like, even, I mean, there's no answer for that either.
Yeah. It's still creepy.
It was creepy. But then when the thing ran in the background,
Yeah.
that's like what got me too. I was like, damn, I'm out.
Bro, yeah.
If I was there too, like, because I would do the same thing and like try to egg the balloon on, but as soon as like I would see that thing down the hallway, I'm gone.
I was just thinking like 5 seconds into that, I would have just been like, pop. And been like,
Damn. Like that was
follow
your
me
grandma.
around now, bitch.
Your grandma was trying to tell you she loved you.
Like, you never said that in real life. I ain't believe you.
Dude, the balloon scared me more.
Did
The
it?
balloon slowly coming around the corner, I would have been like, nope, I'm
That was
out.
kind of creepy, actually.
That was creepy, dude. Like it followed him out of the room, around the corner. It could have gone any direction, and it's like there were what, 8 other balloons there? Like none of
just
the
minding
other
their own
ones.
business.
Like all of them stayed still.
Should I go?
That's my story. Go ahead.
Anyway, that's me.
And that's me. Yeah. Dude, if you're invisible, what do you do for 24 hours?
If
For
you're
me,
invisible-
I'm stealing things.
Oh, well, are those things going to be invisible? Because then it's just going to be floating stuff.
What do you mean invisible?
Like if you're
Like if
invisible,
you walk out with a TV
you're
from
carrying
Walmart,
a TV.
Oh, I didn't think about the object becoming invisible. I was thinking about like virginity being like invisible. Sorry. Because I would take yours, Sean.
24 hours of being invisible.
Whoa.
I don't know. Sorry. Who are we waiting for?
I got you guys.
Okay.
Okay. I got another story for us from the same guy who sent a story the last episode that we did, which
Doing a quick recap.
the story that he shared was of his friend who passed away, and he was still really close to the family, to the friend who had younger siblings. And so he'd always swing by every once in a while to just check on him. And eventually the mother of his friend started spiraling super hard into, well, if you didn't listen to it, this is a big spoiler, but spiraling into sacrificing herself to the devil to bring her son back. So that was the story that he shared about his friend's mom who spiraled super hard. Okay. He talks about another story when he was actually younger, and he was born in Chicago, Illinois. And when he was 8, he moved to Mexico with his family for a little while. And he says living there opened his eyes for a lot of things, a lot of superstition around Mexico. A lot of brujeria was very popular in the region he was at. And he said it was called, I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name of that place, Michoacan, Mexico.
Sounds good to me.
Yep. So one thing that they were superstitious about were something called duendes.
Ooh, what?
So we started trying to start beef with president of Mexico again, because he stole our video, but or stole our picture. They do believe in duendes down there. And one of the things that they believe is the duendes become more active during storms. So he tells this story of...
Is that like their power? Did they choose that? Like,
I think that's a great question.
It's like, it's raining right now. I'm a flipping
Let's get lit. So they would roam around the streets, and they were like small elf-like beings. We have a picture at some point that was stolen by the president of Mexico, but they're known for being troublemakers. One day, he said he remembered there was a storm that was something out of this world. So lightning, thunder, and it was actually pretty close to the house he was in. And you could almost feel the thunder as it would shake, like in the house. I'm there. It is said that these duendes start to come out of hiding during storms. He said on this particular day, he'd been watching Spanish SpongeBob, which, by the way, is
hell yes.
He said it was funny AF. And
Senior Krabs out here.
This is the real hash-slinging slasher, dude. You imagine the hash-slinging slasher in Spanish?
Somebody in chat said Bob Esponja.
Bob Esponja pantalones
A sandy cheek.
So he's watching Spanish SpongeBob, 8-year-old, 9-year-old kid, just minding his own business. And as he's watching, the TV turns off. This is one of those TVs where the only way to turn it off is to go and actually press the button. There's no like remote control to this TV. So he goes and turns it back on. He sits back down, and then the TV once again shuts off. Now, as a kid, he's starting to panic a little bit. Like, first of all, how am I supposed to watch El SpongeBob? And he calls for his mom. He tells her what happened, and she just kind of shrugs it off like, whatever. 10 minutes go by, and nothing happened. And then all of a sudden, he starts to hear these footsteps running around on the top of the house, which is also kind of weird because there's no access to the roof. They're on the 4th floor of the building that they're in. And he's hearing these footsteps just racing across the roof. So he starts to call his mom again. She rushes over to him, and he can still hear these footsteps. They just keep getting more and more intense. And when his mom gets there, he says that she felt something like kind of grab her by the ankle as she was entering the room. And then it disappeared, there and gone. She jumps up and she starts screaming that it's the duendes.
Damn, mom, chill.
I know.
She goes to real quick.
Does he gaslight her now? Is like just
no, shrugs it off. Go back. Like whatever. Let me watch SpongeBob.
Yeah.
You're just imagining it, mom.
You're just imagining it. That's what he says.
Then she grabs him by the arm and starts to pull him, almost dragging him across the room, trying to get down the 3 flights of stairs to the main living room. And as they get down there, the living room, the furniture, and the books had all been ransacked, thrown all over the room. And at that very moment, they're standing there in disbelief, and they hear a blood-curdling scream come from up above them. As his mom and he are in shock, they hear that scream also coming from the basement. Now, the basement has been walled off. There's a brick wall in place of where the basement door was because his grandfather thought that the basement was haunted. And then again, the scream echoes back up above them.
What did the scream sound like?
A bloody murder type of scream is how he's described it.
Was it like, oh, who lives in a pina?
Under the yes.
Under the agua. I'm so sorry. Keep going.
Grounded, bro.
Now, the screaming above them is coming from the 2nd floor now, and they can tell that it's his older sister. And so they start rushing up the stairs as fast as possible, and they get to, he said that his mom raced up Usain Bolt numbers, like that fast. They get to the room where his sister is at, And before they open the door, they hear little footsteps from inside the room and then inside the walls. They open the door and they rush to his sister, and they find that her hair was in about 8 different strands, all tied to the bed frame.
Oh, damn.
Like individual strands of hair tied to the bed frame?
Like different like groupings of hair in 8 different groups tied to the bed frame. And out of the corner of his eye, he says he sees something off in the corner of the room that disappears into a hole in the wall. And they hear it running throughout the wall. They basically run back downstairs. Their dad gets home. It kind of subsides along with the storm. Nothing else happens that night. Soon after that, his entire family is at the house, tearing down the walls of the house where they found bones and dead animals, half-eaten carcasses, and found wool dolls of his sister and his mom found in oddly structured wooden sculptures inside the walls. So they immediately go towards this has to be related to the brujeria. The only way to get rid of all this was to burn these things. So they burned them and they found sage and they cleansed the house. And they even decided to break down the cement or the brick wall down to the basement. And in the basement, there were pentagrams all over the walls. There were bones everywhere, dolls made out of hair. And there was one for everyone in the family. And a note next to every doll stating how we are going to be affected and how some of us would die. So they ended up hiring a Santero, who is basically a person of good magic, to come and cleanse the area of the evil. And once he arrived at the house and observed what they found in the basement, he stated that whoever had done this was a high-ranking person in brujeria, and it was actually a relative who had done this to the family. And that person would die horribly if they cleansed themselves. So if the family cleansed themselves, it would reverse the magic back towards the person who sent it. They had a very serious cleansing, and they did this fully aware that it could potentially transfer the bad energy back to whoever it was that had like done this to them. And 3 days later, his mom's brother wound up getting in a serious car crash and ended up in the hospital. And shortly thereafter, just a few days later, he actually admitted to having done the brujeria against the family out of jealousy against his mother for inheriting the house.
What the
Ultimately, this brother ended up going to jail, serving, I don't know if he says how long, but serving a life sentence. We'll call it a life sentence. And they do have someone come by and cleanse every once in a while just to make sure they're still good. But that is basically the story of Frank Saavedra, who also shared the previous story about the sacrificial mom. Definitely had a wild childhood watching El Señor SpongeBob.
El Señor Sponge.
El Señor Frog. El Señor Frogs.
That's hella fun, dude. I don't think I've ever heard a solid like Duende story. What the?
DJ's gone.
Sorry, my camera froze. It won't turn back on. Just continue. I might join the boys on the couch.
You were staying hella still, bro.
I've been moving and grooving this whole time.
Bro, yeah, I got these set up if you want to come over here.
Yeah. I'll
But yeah, I thought it was crazy because we haven't really heard any of Duende's stories. And this one was kind of mixture of that and brujeria. So it was definitely a fun read.
Very cool, dude. Shout out. Who was that? Who sent that in?
Frank Saavedra.
Shout out, Frank. Thank you, Frank.
Great stories. Both of them.
Skirt. Tristan.
So
Senor
it's,
Tristan.
it's me closing us out. Like I mentioned earlier, I was listening to your guys' older eps. And for some reason, it like sparked this memory of like a high school experience. So did you guys ever, like the freedom you felt when you turned 16, you got your driver's license, the world was limitless, right? You could finally go drive whenever you wanted.
For sure. It's crazy because literally your whole life up until that point, it's like what, 2 routes,
Yeah.
school and maybe, I don't know, sports or something,
Yeah. Yeah, well, like if you want to go anywhere, you gotta talk to mom or dad, or you're gonna ride your bike. But my buddy, he turned 16, got his license, and so I grew up in American Fork, and just like north of us, like Alpine, Cedar Hills, like rich kid area. But there's this cemetery. It's the Alpine Cemetery, and there is a headstone there that's a chair. And there's like this folklore going around all the high schoolers. Like, if you go and sit in the chair starting at midnight till 12:06, right at 12:06, you'll get possessed by the person that is buried beneath this headstone. I can't even remember like really what they said was to happen, but it was at 12:06. And so I was like, there's no way that's true. I just don't believe like that would happen. And so like my buddy and I went, let's call him Nick. His name is Nick. So you're driving on like this main road, and then you see a sign that says like Alpine Cemetery on the right side of the road. And then you turn right and you climb up like, I don't know, this 200-foot hill, but it's pretty steep. 3/4 of the way up, you just look right, and it's the first like tombstone right next to the street. And it's just like this cement throne. Can't even remember the last name on it, but it's literally just like right off to the side. And then right next to it is a tree. And so we get up and we stare at it, and I was like, oh, it just looks spooky. There's like a full moon. I was like, I mean, I guess now that I'm here, I could see that could happen. He was like, there's a creepier part above the cemetery. If we go up, I'll show you. And so like he drives up, and it's like this long, like driving around as you like go up towards the top. And at the very top, if you turn on like your brights, technically it's supposed to be like a peaceful park, but there's statues of children playing. And so if you turn on like your high beams, you can just see like out in like this cemetery forest area, just like statues of little kids like playing with each other. So it's just like really ominous already.
Not it. How are you feeling at this point?
I was like, okay, maybe there's like some legitimate spookiness to this. Like you could get possessed, and like you're all talk till you get there, and then it's a totally different atmosphere. And then kind of like you guys were saying, you played, scary music as you drove to the bridge. Well, like my buddy's like, let's make it even scarier. So he turned on like the Insidious soundtrack, and he was like, let's just drive around the cemetery, get really spooked. Again, 16-year-olds, you're like, all right, let's like, this is the thing to do on a Friday night because we're boring and lame. But we, anyway, so we go down and nothing happened. I was like, all right, I mean, I guess I could see it. So he actually went back on a double date like a week later. And so he's in his like Honda Civic. It's like a 1997 like stick shift Honda Civic. And so he wanted to impress like, his date and his friend's date. And they're like, there's this cool spooky area we could go to. Have you guys ever heard of the chair at the Alpine Cemetery? They're like, no. It's like, well, we should go. And they're like, okay. And so I kind of wish this would have happened when I was there. So they pull up, and it's like, I mean, he said they turned right. It's probably like 11:57, 11:58. And they're just, crawling up the hill because it's just no power in this Honda Civic. Right as they like get close to it, they see that a guy is already sitting in the chair, and they go over and they stop right next to him, and they like hand crank down the passenger window because it's, not automatic. So he's in the driver's seat, and his friend is sitting passenger, and their two dates are in the back. And his buddy leans his head out the window. He's like, hey man, you doing all right? And the guy's he said he's kind of like this sickly looking dude, just like very pasty white skin, kind of like greasy hair. And he's just sitting there with his eyes closed. And so they're like, hey, are you all right, man? Like, can we help you with anything? The guy's just not responding. One of the girls is like freaking out in the backseat, and she's like, just drive away. This is weird. And he's like, okay. So he drives, and the only way to get back is you have to like flip a U-turn and come back down the hill. So he goes to this parking lot, has to make like this 3-point turn, and then he drives back by, and then they just see him just sitting there still. You know, his friend's like, we came out for an adventure. We got to go back. We got to go back. So they get onto the main road and they flip around again, come back up the hill. Now the guy is standing next to the tree, just staring at the tree. And he's like, rolls the window down. Hey, dude, do you need anything? Are you okay? Do we need to get any help for you? And he said they probably stayed there probably 10, 15 seconds. And the guy slowly turns his head and looks at them and then starts like limping and dragging one foot as he walks towards them, but doesn't say anything. So then he takes off, does his 3-point turn, and comes back down the hill. And his friend's like, one more time, just one more time. Please go up there. Like, we're out here for a fun night. Like, go see, like, what's up with that dude one more time. And so the girls in the back are like freaking out. They're like, no, like, we don't. Yeah. They're like, no, we don't need to go back. Like, let's not. He's like, but we did bring you out for a good time. Like, this never has happened. So like, we got to go. So they flip around on the main road, come back up. And now as they're like crawling up the hill, they don't see him anywhere. And so they're stopped right next to the headstone. And for some reason, my friend thinks to look in his passenger side, like mirror. As he's looking in it, he sees the guy laying down on the ground and he rolls over and he had something shiny in his hand. He doesn't know. He likes to think it was a knife, but there's no conclusive, like no one else saw it, but he looked, saw the guy like roll over and then just like started reaching and he just floored it, flipped around and then took off. And the girls were screaming. He was like really shaken by that. Cause at first he was kind of messing around trying to be tough. And then like, you know, his boys hyping him up to go back for another round. And then that time he's like, dude, if that guy actually had like, you know, a weapon or something and slashed our tires and we couldn't get out of there, like that could have been bad. Anyways, like fast forward like a week or something, he then heard from his buddy that I guess later that night, the cops arrested somebody, cracked out on drugs, and then had like been knocking on people's houses and like brandishing like his knife. So he was a little bit spooked from that. I mean, again, it wasn't any like, you know, possession at midnight, but I remember just feeling off at that place. But then a week later when he goes and has that story, I was like, kind of glad I didn't have to experience that firsthand. But anyways, that was just something that popped in my head when I was listening to, I think it was Charlie, you talked about, was it the cemetery or that like with the glowing rock in the back that you had to go touch?
Fly's grave. Yeah.
Yeah. But that just reminded me of that. Somehow I hadn't thought of that in a long time. And then recently when I listened, I was like, oh yeah, I did kind of go experience a high school folktale cemetery.
Those are my favorite, dude.
That reminds me of I think I told it early on, but my dad, who's born and raised in Tonga, they would there's this graveyard in the middle of the forest, and there's a single sand road that goes there. No electricity, no lights. You're only running by the light of the moon and the stars. And they would play this game where there was sand at the graveyard. So there's only sand on the beach and the graveyard. The graveyard was in the middle of the island. And I don't know how long it was, at least a quarter mile, but they'd play a game where they'd sit there and send them one by one and they'd have to come back with a handful of sand. Jeez. But that's fun.
I love that. Dude, you should take the boys there sometime. Go sit in the chair.
Go sit in the chair, dude.
Take that EMF reader you guys
Sorry,
got.
I thought you were talking about Tonga. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Dude, my dad just came back from Tonga, and I would love to go, by the way, to the PG place. My dad just came back from Tonga, and I was like, "Did you show me pictures, like, and everything?" He's visiting his family; all of them live there, and he's like, "I don't have any picture, but Facebook." He just brought up Facebook Lives from like my uncle, and apparently my uncle every day Facebook Lives him just eating all his meals.
Pull it up.
Just all his meals. So my dad was like, "Oh yeah, he just Facebook lived all these, so we'll look." And it was just like nothing else from the trip except them eating.
Just them eating.
And this time they're eating more because my dad's treating everybody, you know, he's the American.
Nice.
He has a little bit more money and he's coming home and he's celebrating. So he's like, and their like idea for celebration for the first time they eat is they go to the market, they buy a bunch of fish, and then they like take it to like this tiny picnic bench on the beach, and they're all just eating the fish raw. Like it was like, you know, when like Gollum's sitting in the pool and they like slap the rock. Now imagine if Gollum had like 300 pounds on him. And that was what I watched. And then there were like 12 of them. I was like, this is hilarious. This is
awesome.
live. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Find that live, my brother.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Oh, and my dad's showing this like on like he airdropped it to the TV. Also, I was thinking about like you said pasty white. I don't know why that is stuck with me because I feel like that's the only like color of people that get like an adjective.
Yeah.
Like an adjective always precedes. It's like you're not just white, you're pasty white.
I am pasty.
But it's always done in a negative connotation. Like I feel like that's like a superpower.
That's true.
I'm pasty white.
Y'all can hide
like, I
in the
wish
dark.
people-
I can hide in the sun.
Yeah. I wish people would come to me and Charles and Tristan and be like, you're jaundice yellow.
I'm off milk yellow, dude.
Off milk.
Yeah. But I'm okay with Oriental for now.
No, Oriental.
Oriental.
I'll take that.
Beautiful. Tristan, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I'm tired.
Love y'all. Good to see people
Love you
in the
guys.
chat.
I appreciate y'all.
Bye love or sorry. That's
yeah, bye,
your
love.
vibe.
Say, dude.
Trust your gut, watch your back. That's what it is.
Bye, love you. Be safe.
Be careful out there.
Tristan.
Happy holidays and hope you all are safe and enjoy the end of the year.
Damn, true. I totally forgot. It's
Oh yeah. Mele kaliki maka.
hey,
Ame kahaoli makahiki ho.
konnichiwa.
Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.
Yes.
I covered both of you.
Okay. Thank you. Hey, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of 3 a.m. If you want to support us, visit our Patreon where patrons have access to exclusive content. If you're not able to support us monetarily, don't worry. This episode is on us. You can still rate and review us on whatever platform you listen to us on. It really does go a long way. You can also follow us on social media. Our handle everywhere, including Patreon, is the 3 a.m. pod. Finally, do you have any scary stories? If so, submit them to our website, the3ampodcast.com. We love any audio or visual aids that can help bring your stories to life. So file uploads are welcome with your written submissions. We're anxious and excited to hear from you.